So hello everybody, hope you're all well and your week is treating you well so far. So today the guests are Rosie and Morgan from Bonacia, who are going to tell us all about their business and what success looks like for them. So if you'd like to introduce yourselves, ladies.
Hi, I'm Rosie and this is Morgan and we run Bonacia. We are a printing and publishing company. We print loads of different books for schools, publishers, business owners, any type of book you want, we can print and publish it for you.
And what because you work in the States as well, don't you?
We export quite a lot of children's books over to the US, so yeah.
So what's your story then? What's your background?
I'll let Morgan explain.
So about 8 years ago now, the business that our parents run called Forward Press went into liquidation and me and Rosie took it over. That was 8 years ago and now we're turning over double what they used to do. So we've kind of expanded the book printing for businesses and publishers, which has kind of made the business, rather than being just one department, we've brought in other things to kind of...
I think when we took it over, we decided, so there was mainly young writers, which was doing a lot of work with schools, and that was the bread and butter, 95% of the turnover. And sometimes when you send a mail shot to a school, it can either bomb or it can do well. So we decided we wanted to expand and diversify, so we weren't so reliant on that one brand. And I think that now is about 50% of our turnover rather than 95. So you've always got a backup if something doesn't go right in that area.
Yeah, the fastest growing part of the business is the book printing in UK, which is, so someone like yourself might have a book printed, or a business or a publisher. That's the kind of market that we're growing massively at the moment.
And that you do the full fulfillment part of that as well, don't you? So if any of you are writing a book, and I know a lot of you who watch the shows are looking at books, the guys actually take control and over everything from start to finish for you. So they sort of plug it into the website. How does that work?
You can start with a manuscript, so written down on paper, or you can have an audio file, and we'll type that, we'll get editors to proofread it, copy edit it, then we'll print the books and we'll send the books to global distribution for you. So from start to the very end, we can do it all.
Okay, and you say you're working a lot with schools. Is that schools in the UK and US? Or?
Yeah.
So mainly we work with loads of schools in the UK, and about 18 months, 2 years ago, we started doing what we do in the UK over in the US, and that's going really well. I think we've worked with about 3,000 or 4,000 schools over there so far.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
And so how long have you been in the business? So you said your parents had the business and then you've taken it over, so how long have you been in it now yourselves and the love?
We've been working in it since we were about 13.
Yeah, so we used to shove mail shots. We did quite a lot of direct mail, and the business before also did. So at 12, 13 years old, we'd spend our whole summer holidays shoving mail shot and making money rather than out. Yeah, with our mates. So
we took over running it about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, 8 years ago. So how old's the company, in entirety then?
So Bonacia is 8 years old. Forward Press was about 23 years 22 years.
Yeah, so the Young Writers, our oldest brand's been running for about 26, 27 years.
Yeah. And I've been to your setup, so you've got some amazing facilities and printing equipment. It's quite a big sort of premises, isn't it, really? And
yeah.
You do all the printing in-house.
We do everything in-house, yeah. I think that's one of our biggest assets, that we can be flexible because we do everything in-house. We haven't got to rely on waiting for other people to get stuff done. So,
or trust, especially working with lots of children's data, because it's all in one place. We can have complete control over it, so we know that everything's on point.
So, do the schools order from you directly, or how does it work? So
with the Young Writers Arm, we generally sell to parents. But we do leavers books for schools, so year-end books and things like that, and there we sell directly to the school.
Okay,
yeah.
And that's kids. You do some kids books as well, like the different publishing from all sorts of.
Yeah, so we create competitions in-house that are designed to get kids to really enjoy writing and reading. So we do like poetry competitions, like short stories, and then we get the entries from the children and we put them into books, so the children can be like published poets and authors at the age of some as young as 5.
Okay. So one of the things I've seen quite a lot recently is when people want to publish a book, do you have a single run? Do you have to have thousands of books before you can publish? How does it work?
Definitely not. We can print from one book up to 2,000. So wow. Yeah, so even if you've got want to test the market with a few copies, you can do that. Some people use them a bit like business cards, take them around with them, I've got my book, and give them like that. Yeah.
And we see I see a lot in speaking circuits and places, lots of speakers saying they're a number one Amazon seller and things like that. But you help businesses and people to get to that, don't you?
Yeah, we can help you get to that. We kind of understand Amazon now and the seller central accounts and things like that. So our team are really good at making sure the right keywords are in there, whether you need to do kind of a pre-order to drum up your interest first. So yeah, the guys in the office know what they're doing there.
So what's the biggest change then from, so you said when you were 13 to now in that space?
In the actual industry, well, there's a lot more books. Books are now, like Morgan said, like the business card. People aren't necessarily looking to make a lot of money from their books. They're looking to use them as a marketing tool, which it's working for a lot of people, like you say, kind of coaches, life coaches, things like that. So I think the market's changed so much because you can just have 300 or 400 copies printed. You haven't got to have a publisher who wants to do thousands and thousands for you. People can just buy their books.
You have like virtual stock, so we've got all your PDFs and stuff we can print straight away in a couple of days. You haven't got to have a warehouse with, like I said, stacks and stacks of books that may or may not sell. Okay. So there's less risk involved in publishing.
So someone, like, would they put the book then, or posters on their website, and then when they click through it will come to yourself as an order, and how does that...
So we can do it that way. There's various different ways that you can do it. If you had them on your website, we've got an API where you can just kind of plug in and we'd take the order and make sure that's fulfilled for you. On your Amazon, we can either look after your Amazon seller account or you can look after your own and just send us the orders over. And that's where the majority of people's sales obviously come from. Amazon is massive. So
in the last 8 years you've had the business, what's the single piece of advice you'd give a young lady coming into the industry, into business?
So for us as Bonacia, the reason we've grown so much is our culture. And because we have grown up with the business, we know how it shouldn't be done. So for me, it would be look after your people because they will look after you. And if you haven't got the right people, then you're screwed, really.
And you have quite a lot. How many people do you have in the company?
So we're about 94 now.
Right.
Yeah, we did get up to over 100, but I think back end of last year, 2017, we started looking at ways that we could streamline and be more efficient and stuff like that. So we have organically lost a few because we're doing more automation and stuff like that.
So with a team of 94, how do you keep everybody engaged, and what's the advice there for businesses who want to keep people engaged with those sort of numbers?
We have a lot of fun. So we have like a house point system. Sometimes it can be like, people say it's like a school there, but we encourage people to really enjoy coming to work, and we measure it as well with a staff survey every 3 months. So we know that if people are engaged with what's going on, they give us ideas of how to improve. So we take on board what they say, but we do try and have a culture where you can come to work and enjoy yourself.
Can people follow you on Facebook, or can they? So what's the website? You want to say what your website is? And
yeah, it's bonacia.co.uk, and from there.
How do you spell that?
Oh yeah, Bonacia, bonacia.co.uk, and from there you get an idea of what we're all about, and also you can go off to our brands and have a look at all those.
It's quite hard because we've got the overall business as Bonacia, but inside you've got little different businesses. Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to
pick one that you want to promote.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do then? Do you feel that your business does differently to engage your teams?
Like Morgan said, we just have a lot of fun. So we've got a fun squad, which is 6 people who are in charge of making sure that everybody has fun. Right. We've got a charity committee, and they go off and make sure that we're making money for charity. So the two kind of committees match together to do those sorts of things. Our Facebook group
is amazing. So everyone that works for us is on our closed Facebook group, right. And we kind of have like Fridays, so everyone knows what other teams are doing. We can just geek it out a little bit.
Yeah.
A bit geeky.
We are a bit geeky. Yeah.
Okay. And where do you then see? Because obviously with online and Amazon Kindle and things like that, I mean, there's always a room for books and needing books, and especially in schools for kids. But where do you see the future then? Do you still see that with books, or has the online side affected you any?
No, I think it's actually helped increase our business because we are shorter run. It has really made like more customers come to us over the traditional publishers where you've got to get thousands and thousands of copies. Yeah. So I just see that massively growing.
And that I think actually that's what's really cool with your business, that you do the one-off run, or you can do the 10 or 100 or however many, because a lot of the coaches, a lot of speakers, a lot of authors that I've met, they're going to publishers, but quite a few people are now starting to want to self-publish.
Yeah.
And actually, if they wanted to self-publish, that would be perfect.
And they get more money for themselves when they self-publish as well. So if you're going to a massive publisher, they take a massive cut. Yeah. But the controls now back in the customer's hands, I think it's good. Yeah,
because quite a few publishers as well, they limit to, you're not allowed to print books to, you're not allowed to write any books, or you sign exclusive agreements with those publishers. So what would the sort of average cost of it says how long's a piece of string, but what's the sort of average cost someone who wants to self-publish would need to buy, or what would you recommend?
So it, again, like you say, it really does depend. But if you're, I don't know, say a business coach would want a black and white A5 softback book, which was purely text rather than lots of images, about 150, 200 pages, you're probably looking at about £2 a copy. So it's not a massive investment. If you can print 100, sell them, then you've got another big bit of money to create your next one.
And you print on demand as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
So with that then, obviously, how many schools are you in America?
I think we've worked about 3,000 or 4,000 schools in America.
How many do you want?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. Okay, so every school in America and every school in the UK.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're working with schools, or then reach out to
Speak to us.
Yeah. So let's go back then. So you started in the business when you were 13. So was you sweeping the floors and?
We were shoving mail shot. It was like 1, 2, 3 in the envelope, or signing letters.
Yeah. Everything back then when we were younger used to be hand signed from our mum as the managing director. So we would all just sit there and write Tracy. That's probably not very ethical, is it? But
so then what made you come back into the business then? How did that work?
I've always been in it. Even when the company went to liquidation, I was part of that business. You went off, didn't you, and went and worked a few different places and then came back.
But when you've grown up around it so much, you all instinctively know a lot of the business anyway. So it seems silly to not use that knowledge for the greater good.
And that must have been quite a testing time then to see the business go into liquidation, but now to flip it the other way and be as successful.
Yeah, it was a double-edged sword, to be fair. It was really, really not a nice time at all. But we realised that the business that they'd built had got really big and heavy, and actually what they did with 100 staff, we then did with 50 staff. So,
and the best ones. So when it went into liquidation, we had people the next week coming to work for free. So we had about 20 people that we started off with.
Because we had no money, we couldn't pay them. So, those people were the ones.
In fact, it was interesting because on a mastermind I was at, you introduced me to the book Powerful by Patty McCord. Didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
That was the book, and if you haven't read that, that's an amazing book to look at. So with that then, how long did it take from that liquidation, which is a tough time, to then start flipping it? I mean, what was that journey?
I think we winged it for a couple of years, didn't we?
Yeah, we winged it for a couple of years. So probably, what was that, 2010? 2012, it just worked up until then, didn't it? And it's been like this, to be fair. So every couple of years you kind of get a bit complacent and you're like, oh, better take stock again. And then, so we do, our yearly stuff goes like that.
Back then, 8 years ago, we probably knew not even half of what we know now.
Yeah, very little.
Like, we were young and probably a bit, but it worked.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, we've really ramped up our personal development, reading more books, going to courses and stuff. And that's definitely helped. Meeting people like you, for instance.
You're just meeting loads of different people, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're growing your networks and learning from people.
Yeah. We hid in a bubble, didn't we, for the first few years, and because we were surrounded by all of these people who had been in the business longer than us and knew it better than us. And knew us when we were 13, running around doing mail. Yeah, we literally took advice from them people and just kind of went with our guts. So
people who sort of take on businesses and family business, that's quite difficult to be like the daughter of and that. How did you deal with that? Because obviously some people in the business would sort of, I suppose those who have been there a long time will know you've gone through everything.
Yeah.
But those who might come in might go, well, hang on, you know, the sort of the manager's daughter and things like that.
That was the case back in the day, wasn't it? But I think as time's gone on, you've made good decisions and the turnover's increased and the profits increased, people find that respect for you that they might not have had.
Yeah, I think it only took kind of 6 months to a year for people to go, do you know what? Yeah, they're doing so much better than it was before.
It was definitely a blessing in disguise, wasn't it?
Because
Yeah.
you flipped it from what was the struggling business now to a very successful business with all the people and all the facilities you have, because you actually have all of that in-house. So you're not sort of brokering the best, but you print it and make everything, don't you?
Yeah.
So in this particular space, and obviously this is growing, what advice, I think we touched base earlier, what advice would you give a young woman in business?
Just to be confident and know your own mind. Like so many times I think doubt gets in the way of going forward. But it's taken a little bit of time for us to get our confidence and be actually, no, I know I'm right here.
Yeah, and seize opportunities. So one of the things that like I say, we lived in a bubble and we would shy away. So something like this, 5 years ago, we wouldn't have even entertained. No. But you've got to seize opportunities and you've got to keep aiming for the next thing and not just being happy with where you are.
And not listening to the people that are in your ear all going, no, you're not good enough, or
Yeah.
All the naysayers. Which
Yeah.
say,
Yeah, I hate that.
Because I heard you say it earlier, but quite a few people say you're like the people you spend the most time with and things, and a lot of people say that, and I think the other part is clearing the negativity. Those who say you can't do something.
And especially around the liquidation and stuff, there is a lot of negativity, and people, like some of the companies we worked with previously, didn't want to work with us.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like a bit of a hard one.
Now I'm hoping the answer to this question there hasn't been, but I noticed that it has. For some people, has being successful women in business been a challenge at all in this day and age? I'd like to think that wouldn't be the case now, but has that been a challenge?
I think it's a bit of an asset, really, because
we're really
in the
lucky.
print industry, which is very male orientated. We can go to like awards, industry events, and we're a little bit different, so it kind of gives us a bit of an edge.
People are like, who are those girls? Even though we're not girls really anymore, but you're used to having kind of older dinosaur men, and people
Middle-aged
see
men
us
called
and
Ray.
they're like, who are these two kids?
And that is actually that's the USP of your business. It is quite a young business, isn't it? I mean, although it's been around a while, it's been reborn, and you have quite a young culture and modern setup.
Yeah.
And also, like 78% of our senior management team are women as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
Awesome.
good fact.
Go power right there. But that's great. Okay, so for authors, so like the thing is, from a film perspective, we always get someone who comes to us and says, I've got an idea for a film, or we've got an idea for an animation, and if you make it for us and you do it for free, you can get a percentage of what's there. Do you get people who come to you to do the books and things for them to pay for it, or not so much?
Not so much. So we do have a small self-publishing arm to our business called Spiderwise, which we give a royalty. So they pay a small upfront fee, and then we'll get a royalty from the book after that. But I find that that's not the way the industry's going. I feel like if you want this to happen, it's because you haven't got the time to do it yourself. It's not about money for people, actually. It's about, I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want to have to edit my own book or figure out how to put it on Amazon. I think for a lot of people, it's more about getting the book in their hand and selling it themselves. So,
Cool. So, in terms of the business now, I mean, it's a very successful business. It's growing.
We're doing well.
You've seen a new trend in market with the different coaches and different speakers and the fulfillment process that you do fully. Is that something you're going to see as it continue growing? Because that's a new part for your business. Is it like a couple of years old, that part? Or?
So book print in UK, primarily, we just used to print books for people and would drop ship them to one address and send them to them. So over time, we've realised customers have asked us, can you fulfil this for us? Can you put it on Amazon? So over the last kind of year or so, we've been doing more and more of that. So that's growing really quickly.
That's going to be one of the massive growth areas of the business, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, young people, you do lots of books for young people.
Yes.
So just, I mean, to be honest, having an animation business as well, kids are the best.
Yeah.
Tell the best stories. So how do you find working with young people, and what do you...
So I find it's like totally fun. We get to come up with crazy ideas that we know are going to inspire the kids. So we come up with competitions. So like the newest one is Poetry Wonderland, and we give them ideas like polishing dragons' teeth to write about. And some of the stories that we get are just absolutely brilliant.
So the kids, so that they write the stories and then submit it online? How does that work?
So we send out like a pack to a school, which might have like, we've got these coloured entry forms that have got like crazy drawings on and stuff to really get the kids' imaginations going. And the schools give it out to the kids and they write and send them to us.
Do any of the kids actually do some of the artwork as well, or...?
We do like little competitions, so we've got like design a bookmark competition and things like that, but not really the artwork.
Because you have your own team, don't you? You have a whole art.
Yeah,
in-house designers.
But we work really hard to try and get into the minds of like 7-8-year-olds to come up with these competitions that are really going to inspire them.
Yeah. Okay, so what would you say is your most successful competition?
Once Upon a Dream, which was a couple of years ago, and that just went through the roof, didn't it?
Yeah, we made it was kind of Frozen themed, so it was all blues and icy, and that was around that sort of time, wasn't it? And that just went wild.
And also crazy creatures, they love that. So they've got to like draw their little crazy creature and write a story about it.
Yeah.
They were a nightmare to type because some of the names were horrendous, but yeah, they love that.
So with the schools, I mean, if you have every school in the US and every school in the UK, what other areas do you have? Because obviously you've got the self-publishing authors.
Yeah.
How does that work? So if somebody comes to you with their story,
Yep.
Do you then provide an illustration services for that? 'Cause
We can do, yeah. We've got a couple of in-house illustrators, so we can do all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Design the covers.
Yeah, we do
I
everything
think we'll just
really.
come in with an idea and be like, okay, cool, we'll just do that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all the self-publishing authors and self-publishing coaches in that, what would you say to them?
Get a book.
Yeah.
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 Why have you not got one already? That's what I'd say to them. Because it's so easy and you can make money from it. And you've got the knowledge anyway in your head. So just get it on paper, get it in a book. Nice little.
Okay. As Bonacia, our mission is to make it possible for everybody to share their story. And I think as business coaches, that is one of the things you want to do. You want to help other people be as successful as you've been through your story. So. Yeah.
And it's not just business coaches, is it? It's business leaders. So if you've
Yeah, definitely.
You know, if you've worked for a big company or a big organisation, you've retired, and you want to write down your story and feel you can share that knowledge and information to the world, then that's.
But everyone has got a story to share. So it could be we do some like memoirs. We've got Gladys who's got her family memoirs in a book, to business coaches, to everybody.
Yeah.
What do you think makes a good story?
Oh, that's interesting. I'm trying to write mine at the moment, so I'm still trying to learn that. Makes a good story.
I think that changes. That we will share the stories of 7-year-olds, so that's their stories are fun and exciting. Whereas
they have the best stories.
They do have the best stories.
Yeah.
I mean, what we've done. I've done sort of workshops all over the world with kids, and adults don't have a clue about anything. And a kid, we do these workshops and we say, there's a shark, for example. We say, what would the shark do? And the kids would say, well, the shark would jump out of the water with a saw in its hand and cut the pirate ship in half. And like, wow, as adults, we wouldn't think that. Because we go, sharks can't jump on ships.
Got such good imaginations. We've got stories about underwater barbecues.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah. They're just so much fun to read. They are brilliant.
That's pretty cool. What's that one with underwater barbecue? What's that? Is that one of the kids' books?
Yeah. So they they'll write about absolutely anything. Like one of our marketing team got their little girl to write ideas down for the pack, and she came up with like stroking a fish's scales. What else was there? Polishing the dragon's teeth. Just like the crazy stuff they come up with.
It's amazing.
It's
so
good fun.
have you put some of that sort of thing in your story?
No, mine's like an ongoing. Yeah.
Okay. When's your story?
I think you should tell them about the story.
Yeah.
Rosie.
Well, when's
Okay, so our aim as Bonacia this year is to make £1 million profit.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a very big goal because we turn over quite a bit, but our profit margins have always been relatively small. So my book is called Mission Make a Million, and it's going to follow our whole journey throughout this year of us and what we're doing and how we're.
Okay, so
yeah,
you're going to Mission Make a Million.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and your book and your story is going to come out when, and you're going to have to commit to everybody. When's that?
Oh my gosh!
February next year.
No, not that early. Probably
February
April.
next year.
April. Give me till April.
February next year.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
February next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Accountability. I like it.
Okay. So what's that one going to be called again?
Mission Make a Million.
Mission Make a Million.
Yeah.
Out February next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Available to pre-order on Amazon.
Now.
Yeah, pre-order. Okay. We'll put that on in February next year.
Yeah.
We'll
We've got to make the million first, though.
Oh no, the mission still happened.
Yeah, I
Whether you
suppose. Even
failed
if
or
you won't know whether we've done it until you read the book.
So okay, that's quite cool. Are you writing a book?
No, I'll help her.
Yeah, we'll do it together.
Are you colouring in the stories and doing the stories?
Oh, we could have some pictures in there, could we?
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm
We'll have all the
crazy, right?
photos from us in Barcelona.
Yeah.
So when we make the £1 million, we're taking our whole team, all 94, to Barcelona for a weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're budgeting £100,000.
So you're going to
yeah.
when's your year end then?
December.
December.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So the mission's already started.
So the book is out in February. The mission will have been accomplished should
Yes.
you choose to accept it,
Yes.
which you have
Yes, yeah.
in
December,
which means your team will go out in January.
Yeah, well, no, it won't be warm enough January. We might have to wait till
We
like
can use the
May.
proceeds of the book to like fund extra activities in
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Okay, so how many pages have you started?
I've got about 2,500 words at the minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to get to about 80. So.
And you do lots of personal development and lots of reading as well
Yeah, we
yourselves,
love that.
don't you? And you have a massive list of books that you've read. So what would you say to young and up and coming businesses, or even businesses that have been around some time? What would you say is your favourite book?
Ooh.
Yeah, for me it's Lean In, so by Sheryl Sandberg. I'm obviously a mother of 2 children, I've got a husband, I've got a business, and sometimes it gets a bit much being everything to everybody. So for me, the book Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, that resonated with me and made me feel like actually I don't need to feel guilty that I'm not always everywhere, and you've just got to kind of keep going.
So you heard that the book was Lean In by
Sheryl Sandberg.
Sheryl Sandberg.
Yeah.
Okay, my favourite book has got to be The Chimp Paradox. That's the first book I think I read on my personal development journey, and it really made a difference to me in terms of how you present yourself and how you are. I think that definitely helped me.
The Chimp Paradox.
Yes.
Is that
saying that inside your brain is your chimp brain, which is the animal instincty type of way. So it stopped me getting. I was a bit of an angry person, I suppose. So it kind of stopped me. Leveled my head out.
Okay, The Chimp's Paradox. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good book.
I don't think I've read that one.
Oh no, it's really good.
That's an audiobook, right?
Yeah, it'll be on.
Okay, because that's the thing. So actually, that's a thing. So with the books, obviously people are reading them. Do you do the audiobooks as well?
Yeah, we will be. We're working with another company who already do all of that sort of stuff over in Peterborough where we are. So they already do it. So we're just going to white label and use them to kind of do it.
So it'll be full service.
Yeah.
There we are, you see.
Yeah.
Now, one thing, because you said you like with the house points and keeping everyone entertained, and I think the good thing with house points and the like is the instant gratification monkey.
Yeah.
So is it Tim Urban talks about the instant gratification monkey and how everyone wants to be celebrated straight away, and with the youngsters and the millennials of now very much so wanting that instant gratification. The house point system you have stickers and sticker books, don't you?
Yeah.
We have books so every value's got a house point attached to it, and then you put it into the book, and then after
once you fill a page,
you get a drink on the first one, so a bottle of wine, then it's free lunch. And then it's an hour off work, I think.
Yeah.
And we met probably a year ago, was it?
Maybe
it was a year ago in a mastermind where we was talking about house point systems and how to engage millennials, and that's when you sort of said about Powerful as a book to look at when we were looking in the culture in the studio, and actually then sparked what would be Tim, our house point side of things, because as a digital business, it's like for us it's all got to be
and for us we're print, so the first thing we go to is let's print that. So because you also have like a whole load of pads everyone has, don't you? I mean focus sheet pads, we do those, we print our in-house newsletter, all that sort of stuff. So
and with your focus sheet pads and things like that, can people get that from your website
soon coming soon? We're working on that. They're fantastic, so we want to be able to business brand them their own colours and their own logos and stuff, so we're just working on that at the moment.
Okay, so what do you, so obviously I mean you're doing all the kids and schools, and that's like tons of activities right there, then you're implementing that into sort of the business world. Is there anything you don't print? I mean it's sort of pretty much quite a large spectrum, really.
Yeah, we don't. So we will for friends and family, but we don't really want to be doing business cards or leaflets and things like that. I think our value is in a book. We know that you can get a lot more value from a book.
Proper books, proper manuals, everything in that case. Okay, so one of the things that you want also aligns with one of our values, which is friends all over the world. Yeah. So with Success Leaves Clues, we want friends all over the world, so the kids have friends all over the world, and sort of create a ripple effect for businesses helping each other. And so for yourselves, what's one of yours? That is.
Yeah, so I think we've only learned really over the last 6 months or so that we can't just sit in Peterborough in our little bubble. We need to get out there and be talking to people. Like you said earlier, you're only as clever as the 5 people you spend most of your time with. And I think as we've grown up with business, we've grown up with our friends from school, things like that. So we need to expand our network and kind of get out there and start making some more friends.
Yeah. So look down there. How many friends do you want to make?
We want at least 5 friends.
At least 5?
Like by tomorrow.
7 billion people on the planet. Come on.
Okay, so we want a lot of friends, and we can start by, if you need any recommendations for books, then hook us up on LinkedIn and tell us what kind of thing you're looking for, and we will give you advice, because we've read a lot.
And how would people find you on LinkedIn?
I'm Rosie Whitelock.
I'm Morgan Walton.
There you go. So find the guys on LinkedIn, link in with them. They've read loads and loads and loads of books. So they've got an encyclopedia of tons of books.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you said your favourite ones. Any books that you could?
Radical Focus is amazing.
Okay.
That will change your business. Radical Focus.
Radical Focus.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Why would that change your business?
It's all about OKRs, so setting objectives and key results, not just for yourself but for your teams. So you've got a much better way of managing what's going on in your business rather than just dipping in and out. So you can be off
on the right things.
Yeah, you can be off doing other stuff and make sure your team are doing what they need to do.
Okay. Any more?
The 5 dysfunctions of a team. Is really
Yeah,
good.
that one's really
Five
good.
dysfunction team. Okay.
Yeah, that one's really good.
And the last one.
The Goal. The Goal's a really
yeah.
old book, and if you're in manufacturing, that is amazing. That's one of the first business books I ever read, but that was paperback, way back when. I've read it about 4 times now.
How many books do you read or listen to a month?
3.
4, yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah.
3 or 4. Wow.
Just
Okay.
whenever I'm in the car.
And do you write down the learning outcomes of each of them, or?
So Morgan actually bought us both dictaphones because we're both always in the car listening, so you can't write down. So she bought us both dictaphones. So if we remember something, like there's something on there, we can just record it, and then when we get back to the office, play it back and write notes down.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, no, it really works.
I tend to listen
Yeah.
if I'm travelling. I'll listen to a book and write
Yeah.
notes. But that's quite good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in and seeing us.
Thank you for having us.
We will have you back, and we will be
February.
holding you accountable in February
Yeah.
for the book.
Oh my God.
The book you're writing again is what?
Mission Make a Million.
Mission Make a Million.
Yep.
Awesome. Connect with the guys. Follow their Facebook pages and have a look at their website. They're really, really cool. Their systems and facilities they have are amazing. Have a good one. See you soon. Take care.